Number 1. The Philippines is a member state of the United Nations that Duterte administration implemented an all-out war on drugs that sometimes lead to human rights violation, extrajudicial killings with no due process. When a case was brought to the UN International Court of Justice, President Duterte decided not to be under the jurisdiction of the ICJ, using his presidential powers. Do you think that Duterte may be guilty of the drug war, that's why he doesn't like to be investigated by the ICJ? Is Duterte right in his decision that pursued the war on drugs to save the Filipino youth 5 years ago? In an interview with DCBB, a Manila-based radio station on Thursday, Salvador Panelo, the President Legal Counsel, repeated previous statements saying that the Duterte administration will not cooperate with the investigation and he was not guilty. Duterte will not cooperate since, first of all, the Philippines has left the Rome Statute so that ICJ no longer has jurisdiction over the country, and also he defended his anti-drug campaign during his last State of Nation address, saying it had cut crime and improved peace and order. That's why he pursued the war on drugs to save the Filipino youth. Number 2. In 2016, the Philippines was awarded by the UN Arbitral Court with ruling stating that the Philippines won the case against China re the 9-line controversy of the West Philippine Sea. The Chinese government did not acknowledge the ruling. How can the Philippines enjoy the favorable ruling in the West Philippine Sea without Chinese cooperation? If we go to war, know that China is a permanent member of the United Nations, where can the Philippines get help? To accuse China of disobeying international law on the ground that it has not accepted the arbitration is an act of applying double standards. This is not fair to the Chinese side, and it does not conform to the true spirit of international rule of law. In fact, and much to the contrary, China's refusal to accept the arbitration submitted by the Philippine side is an act truly in keeping with the law. Third, a resort to arbitration does not meet people's expectation for friendship in both China and the Philippines. Territorial and maritime disputes are not the entirety of the China-Philippines relationship. The underlying trends of their relationship remains good neighborliness and friendship. China-Philippines friendship has a long and profound history and enjoys strong and extensive public support. It also meets the practical needs for both countries to pursue common development. For the Chinese people, to avoid lawsuit is part of the Chinese culture and tradition. And the Philippines people also value friendship and good faith. We see every reason for both sides to sit down and resolve problems through negotiations instead of taking the issue to court.